Welcome to your personalized deep dive. Today, we're really diving deep into bipolar disorder, a topic that honestly a lot of people just don't really get. And you've sent in some really interesting articles, by the way, tracking moods, different types of bipolar, even some really cool tech that could totally change the game for people managing this, like every day.
Yeah, no doubt it's a complicated area. But just getting a handle on the basics and seeing how tech can help, that's huge for people.
Okay, so basics first. The articles, they kind of describe bipolar disorder like a roller coaster, right?
hmm
Intense highs, they call that mania, and then these really low lows, depression. But what stood out to me was how different it is for everyone. It's not just like, oh, I'm having a good day, now I'm having a bad day. Some people feel these swings for hours, others, it's weeks, even months at a time.
That's it. You got it. How long it lasts, how intense it gets, that's the key. And why it's so important to know the difference between the two main types. There's bipolar 1, that's when someone's had at least one of those full-on manic episodes, really intense. And then there's bipolar 2.
So with bipolar 2, is that where the highs aren't as, I don't know, as extreme?
Exactly. We call it hypomania, but the low points, the depression, just as serious.
So like the difference between, I don't know, a quick burst of energy versus this like surge that just keeps going.
A perfect way to put it. And that's why knowing your own patterns is so important. That's where tracking everything comes in.
Right? Like having a detective on the case, but it's your own mental health. And speaking of tracking, the articles talk a lot about mood tracker apps, but then also like the classic journaling. What do you think about those tools? How can they actually help someone with bipolar?
Oh, tracking can be seriously powerful. Imagine you actually start spotting patterns you never even noticed before, like maybe certain foods, how you're socializing, even the weather could be messing with your mood. Seeing that data, it's eye-opening.
It's like connecting the dots, but it's your daily life and how you feel inside all connected. One article even said just taking a few minutes, even just at the end of the day, to write down your mood, that can help.
100%. Reflection, thinking back on your emotions, what might have played a role, even if it's just reflecting on the day you had, it can help you approach things so differently next time.
It's true. And for people with bipolar 2 especially, like keeping that mood log going, it can really help them tell the difference between hypomania and a full-blown manic episode, which honestly, even for us professionals, can be tricky. And that difference is really important for getting the right treatment.
So you're saying by tracking those little shifts, those moments where maybe you feel a little more, energetic, impulsive even, you're giving your doctor a much clearer picture. Exactly. It's like instead of a blurry photo, they're getting high def. And that brings us to one of the most honestly kind of mind-blowing things happening in this field. Remember those articles about AI and machine learning for bipolar? Is that like sci-fi stuff, or is that really the future of mental health?
It might be closer than you think. Imagine this, all that data you're keeping, from your mood journal, even your smartwatch, tracking your activity. What if it was all being analyzed like in real time? These machine learning algorithms, they can pick up on tiny little warning signs, things we as humans might totally miss. Wait, hold on. Are you saying these algorithms, they could actually predict? Like before mood episode even hits?
You got it. Let's say the algorithm sees a pattern, right? Maybe your mood dips a little, and that lines up with your sleep being off. Or your heart rate variability shows you're less resilient to stress, things you might not even notice yourself.
So it's like this algorithm is like putting together a puzzle, looking for those little clues that we just don't see. And if it spots something that, I don't know, suggests a mood shift might be coming, then what? Your phone buzzes, it's like time for some mindfulness.
Maybe. Or a reminder to take your meds, adjust that sleep schedule, maybe even just reach out to a friend, someone supportive. The point is, early detection means you can intervene early.
Wow, that's incredible. It's a personalized early warning system for your brain, basically. And the more data you give it, the better it gets.
Exactly. But let's be real, that tech isn't quite mainstream yet. The articles also talked a lot about sharing what we can track, like those mood journals with our doctors right now. Absolutely. It's all about collaboration. You've got to have that open communication with your therapist, psychiatrist, whoever you trust. Sharing what you're going through, whether it's through an app or just talking it out, that's how you build a support system that works.
Like a safety net.
Yeah.
But instead of waiting until someone's falling, you're finding the weak spots first. And, we keep mentioning our bodies giving us clues. One article really went deep on that, talking about biomarkers like sleep, even something called heart rate variability. What are those? And how do they play into bipolar?
Okay, so sleep. Obviously, everyone needs it, but for folks with bipolar, it is absolutely crucial. When you sleep, your body and your mind, they're going through this whole restorative process. And if that gets disrupted, especially for someone with bipolar, that can really trigger things or make an episode worse.
One of the articles even said that having an irregular sleep cycle, like that can be a warning sign for mood instability. But how do you even know if your sleep cycle's off?
That's a really good question. For some people, it's obvious, right? Can't fall asleep consistently, waking up a bunch during the night. But for others, it's more subtle. You're tired all the time, even when you think you got enough sleep. And then there's heart rate variability, or HRV, which is basically how much variation there is in the time between your heartbeats.
Okay, I'll be honest. That sounds weirdly specific. What does the time between my heartbeats have to do with my mood?
It sounds strange, but a higher HRV, that's actually a good thing. It means your body is more adaptable to stress, to change.
So if your heart rate variability is low, that means you're not as resilient, so more likely to have mood swings.
Precisely. And what's wild is that these changes physically, the sleep disruptions, the dips in HRV, they often happen asterisk before asterisk you even feel your mood changing.
It's like our bodies are trying to tell us something's up before our brains even get the memo. It's kind of freaky, actually.
Yeah.
So much going on under the surface. That's where I guess that tech we were talking about, that could be revolutionary.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Tracking those subtle physical cues, the things we might not even realize, we can get ahead of those mood episodes, manage them way better. Think about it. Combining what you learn from tracking your mood, thinking back on it, with these objective physical markers, that's powerful.
It's like having this whole detective squad, but they're working on your mood, analyzing every little thing to keep you ahead of it.
Yeah.
But even with all this cool tech coming out, we can't forget the human side of this. The articles talked about those personalized dashboards where you figure out what specifically triggers your asterisk mood swings.
Yeah.
That seems super important too, right? Like knowing yourself that well.
100%. Those triggers, they can be like from inside you, stress, bad sleep, or from outside certain people, stuff you eat even. We've all got our own, and by tracking them, you start to see the impact they have.
It's like detective work, but on your own life.
Yeah.
One article even said, too much sugar, caffeine, those could set off mood swings too. Which, okay, I gotta admit, I do love my sweets, so that made me think twice.
It's true. That quick energy boost you get, it can kind of feel like hypomania almost. But
Mhm.
then when it crashes, those low moods can feel even lower.
So it's all about balance, I guess. Enjoy it, but know yourself. And speaking of managing all this, the articles were big on collaborative care, like getting loved ones, doctors, everyone on board. How important is that really for bipolar?
It really does take a village, right? That open communication with whoever you trust, family, friends, therapist, your doctor, it's huge. When you share what you're going through, that's how you build a support system that actually helps you handle the tough parts of bipolar.
Like a team in your corner ready to help. And with that tech we talked about, sharing your mood data with your doctor, instantly. That's next level teamwork.
For sure. Imagine your therapist gets an alert because of your mood tracker, right? They know you might be heading into a depressive episode. So they reach out, offer support, maybe tweak your treatment plan if they need to. That's the power of using technology the right way, ethically, as part of your care.
It's like that safety net, but it's always there, before anything bad even happens. That's really reassuring. We've covered a ton today, the types of bipolar, why tracking matters, this whole AI thing, and how important it is to have people in your corner. It's been amazing, and I know our listener has gotten so much out of your insights.
Happy to be here, honestly. If there's one thing I hope everyone takes away, it's that knowledge is power. The more you understand about bipolar, the better you can manage it and truly live your best life.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And that wraps up our deep dive into bipolar disorder. But remember, this is just the start of your journey, right? Keep those questions coming, keep learning all you can, and most importantly, never stop fighting for your well-being. Thanks for being here with us.